Trend number 3. Now, this is a topic in itself, and it's one that I actually just had a meeting just prior to this webinar that was specifically about branding. Now, years ago, people would put an ad in the paper and say, my farm is hiring. We need either this, and we would anxiously wait for people to come to us. That's not the way it is anymore. It is now about the why, and why is it somebody would want to come and work for you? I'm going to share this job opening with you. Apprentice Farm Manager. Sterling Farms, a fourth-generation wheat farm, is looking to hire an apprentice farm manager to start this May. It's a sweet gig for an aspiring farmer, with all meals included and the possibility of housing if you don't mind sharing with 4 others. We're devoted to delivering the best product. We're 30 minutes from Brandon, Manitoba, which is pretty much the epicenter of Manitoba's wheat production. The best part of the job, of course, is that you would get to hang out with me all day. To apply, contact. Now, for some of you, this might seem a little hokey, might seem a little out of the ordinary, but guess what? That's what recruiting has become. Recruiting has become branding. Now, what branding means is it's an actual differentiator, the reason of why somebody would consider wanting to work for you. What is so special about your farm? Because again, what's happening now is it's, why would I come to you? So you need to create that message so that you're able to attract people to come to work for your farm. And let me just share with you the meeting that I just had. Client A, handful of staff, and over the last couple of years has lost half of his staff. Now, when people leave, they often have excuses like, I'm going back to school, I got a job somewhere else that pays more money, and there's all these excuses that we sort of just shrug off and say to ourselves, oh, it's too bad. Do you know that the number one reason why people leave is because of you, because of the boss? Most people in their right minds when they're quitting aren't going to look you square in the eye and say, I'm quitting because I don't like working for you. So we have to take a look at our management style, and we have to take a look at our farm and recognize the reasons why people either stay or would want to work for you. So at lunch today, I challenged this business owner, this farm manager, and said to him, well, why do you think you're losing people? And as we discussed all the potential reasons, we couldn't put our finger on any one reason. So then we decided to focus on the future. Well, then how are we going to hire people moving forward? And he said, well, Michelle, I've tried the ads. I'm doing things on Kijiji. I'm doing all the usual things to try to attract labor to my farm, but I just can't find anybody. What's wrong with people? Where are they? Why doesn't anybody want to work? The question was, why would they? Why would somebody want to come and work for you? And then we started to brainstorm all of the really unique things about this particular farm. And it didn't take us very long that we suddenly had a list of 5 or 6 really strong values, tangible things that might excite somebody to apply. And that's a trend that I'm seeing across the country. Trend number 3, branding defines your recruiting success. Last month I spoke at the Vegetable Growers Conference in Niagara Falls. And it was an HR conference, or an HR session. And at the end of the session, we were, the audience, which was about 60 people, were sharing stories about branding. And there were some such successful stories of what farms have done in the last year or so to be able to recruit more effectively. And the common denominator with all of the stories that were shared is that they were branding. And the branding included everything from statements about what makes their farm neat, to branding logos, using videos on LinkedIn and so Facebook, using social media. But at the end of all the discussion, the farms were creating a statement, a branding statement about the why. And I encourage you, if any of you have staff, I encourage you to actually ask them, why is it they wanted to work for you, and why are they staying? And then perhaps you can create a branding statement for your farm. Trend number 3.
For months. Thank you, Michelle, for being with us this afternoon. Have a great day, Michelle.
Thank you very much, everybody. Goodbye.
We'll see you later.